In this episode, how to solve basic radical equations, coming up back into action. Hey guys, today I will show you how to solve basic radical equations, or sometimes they are called irrational equations. And by the way, what they are, a long story short, is just equation involving a square root, or it could be other roots like the fourth root, the third root, in a nutshell, any root. And by the way, what does it mean to solve the radical or irrational equation for x? So you need to come up with the value or the values of x that work for that equation, that make your equation true. And I'm going to come up with a kind of a basic types, basic kind, so something like this. So, and the way you would solve, you want to get rid of this square root. And the way you want to eliminate, you want to get rid of the square root, is just by raising both sides of your equation to the second power. So all you want to do is just square both sides of your equation. So keep in mind that what you do to one side, you have to do to other side. So you want to keep your equation balanced, so you don't want to change the overall value of your equation. So I'm going to square both sides of my equation to the second power. And on the left side, this square root and that second power, they basically cancel each other out, they undo each other since they're opposite, they're reverse operations of each other. And you would be left with whatever you have underneath your square root. So in this case, it's 6 minus x. On the right side, 4 to the second power gives me 16. Do not forget to raise this number or whatever you have on the right side. So sometimes it comes as an expression in x in the second power. That's vitally important, and some people forget to do this step. So you're raising to the second power both sides of your equation. And now we end up with something like basic linear equations in terms of x, and you typically solve it. So in this case, in order to avoid negative, I'm going to move this negative x to the right side by just adding x to both sides. And simultaneously, I'm going to move this 16 to the left side. So remember, I want to get my epsilon on one side and the numbers all constant on the right side to isolate my x to get epsilon. So I'm going to subtract this 16 from both sides of your equation. And by the way, I do a series videos on how to solve linear equations, different types, different kinds, and the links will be down below in the description box and you could check them out later. So x goes away, disappeared, and you would be left 6 minus 16 gives you negative 10. Drop down equality sign, so 16 and negative 16 drops out, goes away, disappeared, and you would be left with x. So your x is negative 10. You could change the order, you could write it normally as x is being equal negative 10. And that's your basically final answer, that's your solution, that's your root for this equation. At this point, if you like, you could check out your solution by simply just taking this negative 10 and substituting for x into your original equation. So, and basically you could do it mentally, you don't have to write it explicitly. So look, you would have something like 6 minus 10, that you would get 16, positive 16 underneath your root symbol. So something like, if you want to check, something like root of 16, and just check to see does it equal 4. And since the square root of 16 is just 4, the positive value basically, right? The principal value, so 4 does equal 4. So that's true, that checks out, and that's your solution. Now, moving on, let's say you have been given something like this. Looks a little bit spooky and intimidating. Don't worry. As a good rule of thumb, the same idea, so you want to get rid of these roots, and the way you would do is simply just taking the opposite, implementing the opposite operation. So basically you want to square it. But I wouldn't square at this point, because you would have 2 terms subtracted and you need to square them. It would be too much work, but however, what I could do, I could little bit tweak my original equation and prepare it for squaring. How I'm going to tweak it? Simply, I'm going to move this root, since it's negative, it's perfectly fine. I'm going to move this root to the right side, since I have 0. So when I move this root on the right side, I would have 2 square roots on both sides of my equation. And it would be much easier, so you could potentially avoid that bunch of unnecessary algebra work at this point. So let's do this. So again, I'm moving this negative root of 2x minus 4 to the right side by basically adding this root. Anyway, it's going to be there with the positive sign in front. So you would be left, bring down this 2 root of x minus 3 equals, so it appears on the right side, just root 2x minus 4. And at this point, I'm squaring both sides of my equation. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. You could raise it to the second power at this point when you are given, but it would be too much work. Now, raise it to the second power, both sides, similarly likewise what we did before, and pay attention. Since you have this constant in front of your root, this constant and this root, they have to be raised to the second power, and I drop it separately. Alright, so many people forgot to raise this 2 and they just write 2. No, it's not 2, it's 2 raised to the second power. That basically gives me 4. Alright, and this root to the second power, you would be left with whatever you have underneath your root. Symbol is just x minus 3. Drop down, bring down equality sign, and on the right side, you just take out, pull out whatever you have underneath your root symbol, and it's 2x minus 4 at this point. No roots, they were wonderfully, beautifully eliminated. Now, you've got this basic linear equation for x, and you solve it normally. So again, I have this kind of examples. I do have a video on these types of linear equation with variables on both sides, and also with distributing, with opening up the parentheses. So you have to basically open up the parentheses at this point. And by the way, you have to draw the parentheses. I didn't mention this, but because you are given these 2 kind of outside of your root, and when we got rid of this root symbol, so that's important. You put the parentheses and you enclose this x minus 3 inside of the parentheses, because whatever you have outside, this number basically applies and distributes to whatever you have inside. Alright, so open up the parentheses by taking this 4 and distributing it over these terms inside. You would be left getting just 4x, 4 times x, minus 4 times 3, 12, equals, bring down to x minus 4. And At this point, since your terms kind of scattering around, and the good rule of thumb, you want to bring together, you want to combine your x terms on one side of your equation, and you want to combine your numbers, your constants on other side. So the way you would do, you just typically move this 2x to the left side by subtracting 2x from both sides. So we do opposite. Since keep in mind that addition and subtraction, they undo each other, they are opposite operations, they inverse. So, and also I want to bring this negative 12 to the right side by adding 12 to both sides of your equation. So add 12 to the left side, add 12 to the right side. Now 4x minus 2x, you would be left with 2x, 12 and negative 12, they cancel each other out, goes away, drops down. Bring down this equality sign, so 2x and negative 2x, they cancel each other out, so they undo each other, so bye-bye. It drops out, goes away, and minus 4 plus 12, that would leave you just 8. Now, you want to get your x alone, you want to isolate your x. So whatever attach your x, so in this case it's 2, divide both sides, divide through by 2 both sides of your equation. So you divide it by 2. 2 goes away, drops out, and you would be left, so your x comes out to be just 4. That's your root, that's your solution, if you will, for that equation. And again, at this point you could simply check it out by taking this 4 and plug it in for x. Everywhere x appears basically in 2 places in your original equation, and see if it matches, if it works for your equation. Alright, with this being said, I hope it has been helpful to you. Huge thanks for watching, and Enjoy your brain. I know everyone hates maths, but if you like my video, please hit this like, share with your friends, leave the comments down below, and be sure to smash that subscribe button, so if you haven't, so you will not miss out my new videos. Of basic, so many times. Hey guys, today I can't film today.